We all know that giving birth changes a mother's brain chemistry, but a new study says that the same exact thing happens to gay men. Check this out. The study found by looking at straight fathers, mothers, and gay fathers, and looking at their reaction to footage of their own children versus footage of other people's children, how their brains react to parenthood. And what they found was that mothers have an increased activity in their amygdala, which is where a lot of the emotional processing happens in the brain. Straight fathers had an increased activity in the cognitive centers of their brain, but gay fathers had activity of both. And in fact, they integrated both parts of their brain better than both mothers and straight fathers. As Ruth Feldman, the head of the study, explains, fathers' brains are very plastic. When there are two fathers, their brains must recruit both networks, the emotional and cognitive, for optimal parenting, which means that, speaking in terms of brain activity, gay fathers appear to be both mom and dad.
This is fascinating. And I'm really thinking about how this changes the conversation about gay adoption. You know, there are so many people that say you absolutely need a mother and a father. There are biological differences between men and women, and children deserve to have both of these sexes in the household.
Exactly.
And now we're essentially saying their brains kind of work both like men's and women's brains, and even better because they are more able to easily integrate those two sections of their brain.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, it's interesting because people who do critique gay parenting and the rights to gay adoption, it's true, there are biological differences in the brain, but what this says is that we can adapt to the needs and the brain activity of both parents when we have to. And that would apply to single dads in any context, which is really interesting.
It's absolutely fascinating. Now, in the study, did they give any indication of like how much time children needed to spend in order to have these changes occur in the father's brains or anything like that? I know that being in close proximity has some effects on the children. So does it have to be the biological father, or can it just be somebody who adopted the child?
Yeah, so the study does suggest that it's just being the primary caregiver that triggers this. They didn't study how much time that takes. Another important thing to call out is that they didn't study the differences in the people's brains who participated in the study before they had children as opposed to after, to know whether these changes in the brain were already happening or if they were triggered by the child. But the research does suggest that there was something about parenting that kicked this off, and that shouldn't be total surprise because we know that people who have to take care of children evolve, and they have to because we've been wired to understand what our children need, whether we're a man, a woman, or irrespective of sexual orientation.
It's our biological nature, and here, based on this evidence, biological nature is saying it's perfectly okay for two men to care for a child.
That's absolutely right. Well, let us know. Do you think this changes the debate about gay adoption? Let us know in the comment section below, and as always, subscribe to the Lip TV.